It is easy to see the lack of precision in this passage, where the scribe begins by speaking of to angels, then speaks of to men, and then describes to men striking people blind. According to the Bible, such a miracle requires at least an angel. There, my dear, is another good example of confusion in earthly scripts. The men were quite simply our men from Thiaoouba. Thus we guided and helped the Jews, for it would have been a shame to let a race so spiritually evolved sink back into ignorance and savagery only because it had accidentally committed the error of coming to a planet which was not appropriate for it. We helped them in the centuries that followed, and it is this that certain scribes have tried to explain by writing the accounts that have formed the Bible. Often they were in good faith, at times they have distorted the facts, although not purposely. The only times this distortion was purposely done, and for very specific reasons, as I have said, was by the Roman Church during the councils of Nice in AD 325, Constantinople in AD 381, Ephes in AD 431, and Chalcedon in AD 451. There were others too, but of lesser significance. The Bible is not the book of God, as many people on earth believe it to be. It is simply a document of ancient history much modified and full of embellishments added by writers different from the original scribes. For example, let's go back to Egypt and the time of the Exodus, which interests people on earth. I am going to restore the truth concerning this, for you and for others, before going further. Let's go back, then, to Egypt, where we find that the descendants of the cosmonauts have become the Hebrew people, the name deriving from that of their planet, Hebra. Since arriving accidentally on your planet, this race has experienced great difficulties. It experienced them then, and it experiences them still. As you know, the Jews are very intelligent by comparison with other races. They have a religion which is quite different, and they don't mix with other races. Marriages are almost always among their own kind. Because of inexorable universal law, they have always suffered persecution, much of which has occurred in recent times. As a result, their astral bodies were liberated and therefore able to proceed directly to more highly evolved planets where they belong. As you also know, a group of Hebrews traveled with Joseph, son of Jacob, into Egypt, where they established a line, only to end up being hated by the Egyptians, and always for the same unstated reasons: their intelligence and, particularly, their solidarity in the face of adversity. Action was needed.